Hi, it's Therese and Lostinpaper, and if you're anything like me, then I know that you probably have heaps of little bits and pieces of things that you've stamped out or pieces of cards that you've started and sort of haven't actually followed through and made any kind of project with them. So today I wanted to challenge myself and try and make a card out of bits and pieces that I have all together in my stash. So it's a bit eclectic and I just thought I'd see what I'd come up with. So I decided to use this panel background is something I stamped out. It was actually for a design call for a magazine, and I stamped it using the Simon Says stamp, one with nature set, and coloured it with my Copics, and then decided not to use it. And I thought, well, I didn't want it to sort of sit in my stash and get bent up and wasted, and I thought, okay, I'll just make something with it. I'm also using other bits and pieces. So this is MFT. They're and it's a stamp and die set, and it has some really sweet sayings. And I'm just cutting down part of the sentiment, which says, "You are my kind of crazy." And I thought to go with that, I'd colour up a hot pink owl. And why not? That is kind of crazy. And I just quickly coloured it. I didn't want this to be complicated. So this is just very minimal. I don't really think I did any shading in this at all. Just with the RVs, something nice and pretty and pink, because, you don't very often see, well, I've not very often seen pink owls, so it is kind of crazy. And then I just simply fussy cut this little fella out. Oh, it'd have to be a girl, wouldn't it? If it's pink, it does probably need to be a girl. So then I fussy cut this little girl out. And I want to use this sentiment to go with the rest of that, the stamped out sentiment that I had. And I thought it'd be cute just to have, not an ombre, but like a little variance in the colour. And I thought it was easier to do that by popping it back within the negative space of the die cut. And that just made it easier for me to add the colour fairly evenly. And then I'm just sort of playing with placement on the card panel, working out how I want it to look. And then I can start assembling. So I've added some coloured fun foam. I've got heaps of this. I just like to use it when I can, just to kind of use it up, because the white's easy. It's actually the white is hard for us to get in Australia, and it's fairly expensive. So I find if I'm doing something that has a white background, I'll kind of save my white fun foam to then. I've got some really thin score tape here that I'm adding, because when I stamped out these sentiments, I didn't leave a lot of space between them. So I figured the score tape's going to give it a really good hold. And then I was thinking about popping it off the bottom, but then when I placed it on the card front, and just kind of visualised it, I didn't like the way it looked. So instead I decided to place it along the side, almost like a tab. I like that heaps better. I can't even remember what colours I used on this background. I just know that I did colour it with Copics. And to add my sentiment, I'm using the matte medium again, and I just add lots of little dots to the back of the die cut word, and then for some reason I decided to turn it upside down. I think my mum was talking to me when I was doing this. I wasn't really concentrating, and this is where I was really glad that I actually did use the matte medium, because I had to move it around a little bit. And when I do that, even though the matte medium does dry matte and you can't see it, I just, out of habit, I will just use my craft blade to scratch away little bits of wet glue that are there. I've added some fun foam. So this image comes from a lawn fawn set called Mum and Me. And I'm just going to pop this little owl up on the tree. And I was originally going to pop it up on the tall tree, but it actually visually looked better, according to my mother, on the shorter tree, so that's where it ended up. I added some of the Spectrum Noir clear, crystal clear sparkle glitter, and some gel pen dots to both the wings, just to make this little owl a little bit more unique. And as a final touch, some yellow stickles to the beak. And that's pretty much my card today. Thanks for joining me. I've had heaps of fun, and I'll be back again real soon, of course. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.